Twlstd.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today we have an exciting matchup between two teams looking to perform on a big stage. It's the Steelers going up against the Colts. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 12 matchup.
Larry, from the heartland of America, EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis. Tonight, it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, the streak continues, doesn't it? They come in a perfect 10-0.
And it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game coming together for this team.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And Andrew Luck's skill set is absolutely fantastic. There's not anything that he can't do as a quarterback on the field. But I also think that he absorbed a little bit by osmosis some of that great bloodline. His father, formerly a quarterback in the NFL as well.
Here's the backup running back, Carlos Williams. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And this offense sometimes is predicated on the ageless wonder, Frank Gore.
And he wants to be a guy with limitless carries. Frank Gore gets better and better with each carry, really batters defenses with his inside running.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. He's got time. A dump off here for Gore. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On is Pat McAfee to punt it away for Indianapolis. Back deep for the Steelers, Marcus Wheaton. This is taken around the 12. return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 04. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you talk about the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. And he's used to competition. Remember the class he came out of in 2004 with Eli Manning and Phillip Rivers also available.
Yeah, how many do you think envisioned the greatness of that class at the time?
I don't think to the levels that we've seen. Potential, no doubt. But how many Super Bowls collectively have these guys won?
A lot. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL. And now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Jared Odrick is fast becoming one of the best anchor defensive ends in the NFL.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
I tell you, on 4th and 1, when you're way back on your side of the field, I thought this might just be an attempt to draw them off and get the first down that way. But they were going for it the whole time, and they wind up getting it.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And Green with a catch left side. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. On the right side, caught by Green. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play, primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
So now it's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. D'Angelo Williams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Time running out here on the play clock. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. And the defense will accept this penalty and force the offense back. 27 yards on the gain there. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So 1 quarter in the books here on a Thanksgiving night. It's a close game here early on. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Again, it's Williams. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Frank Gore there, and it's 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and
they can do just that. They go play action here on first down, and that's complete to Jesse James. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete here. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Now it's Roethlisberger. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll go for it with Bell. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. And a great spot to start this drive from here. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Williams. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Well, the offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Roethlisberger will throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On 2nd down, Williams fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems. And this qualifies as a big problem.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in.
And that's caught inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go up for a Steelers touchdown. Sammy Coates, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second and 10, Luck again. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. The 2014 Pro Bowler, Lawrence Timmons, with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger finding time. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Sammy Coates with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on the Thanksgiving night, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Colts are on the bad end of things right now after 2 quarters. The Steelers will be tough to stop, though, as they're in a groove after last week's win. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights.
And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do.
And that's caught inside the 30. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ladarius Green, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route, because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops, there he goes again.
Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener where there's something to get you off to a quick start. Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
So this is the second consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
Surveying the field, and that is incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. We get a glance at the Colts defense as they work their way back on the field. Their secondary, they have some things to sort out. They've given up 3 touchdowns. That last drive was basically all through the air.
No doubt about it. And what they're also hoping is to get their big guys up front going and give them a little cover with some pass rush. Right now, they're not getting that. The leverage battle being won by the offense, and that's really hurting the guys in the secondary. They're carving them right up.
I like that. The former DB making sure that the guys up front are responsible, too.
I'm not trying to throw them under the bus or anything, but maybe I just backed up over them, didn't I?
A little bit. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They come out here in the eye.
Black 30. 3 down.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And this one complete to Marcus Wheaton. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll go again with Bell. Room here to run. And oh, he spins past him and into space. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And this Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We are headed to the 4th here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 6, and just like that, it's third down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On first down, Luck. Allen's got it over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One receiver left is Hilton. Throwing again is Luck. Going up top. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call or get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Second down following the run. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect better.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Well, we know he's had a lot of good games in this league. He had another good one last week, but here, he's just off, isn't he?
And that's hard to believe. But guess what? Even the best players are allowed to have some bad moments and stretches along the way. Normally what we see, though, is him finding a way out, finding a way to make some big-time plays before it's over. We'll see if he's able to do that in this game.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on third down, Luck. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on. And it brings up fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Steelers. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel. No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Roethlisberger going to throw it. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Deep drop. He's going to look deep down the field. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Boswell for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off.
Not a blitz, but the guy who's normally the last line of defense recognized that he had a chance to get to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. Allen has it, left side. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now it's Locke. Now a hit, and Locke lost the football. It's out. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Steelers, the perfect season.